I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you again for all attending. For the purposes of our meeting this morning, I'd like to do a roll call. Trustee Berenger is absent. Trustee Ferraro.
Present.
Trustee Carl.
Present.
Trustee O'Connor. Absent. Mayor Dwyer. Present. Okay, thank you. Next order of business is first off, is the resignation of Brenna Marzigliano, our part-time billing control clerk. Trustee Carl?
Yep, resolve the board accepts the resignation of Brenna Marzigliano, water billing control clerk, effective January 17th, 2024. Both the board of trustees wish Brenna well in her future endeavors, and I'll put that reluctantly in form of a motion to accept.
Second?
Ferraro, second.
Okay.
We wish her well. She really did
Yep.
a bang-out job here for us.
Yep, she's an awesome employee, and we wish her well. Okay, so we had a first, a second, call the question?
Ferraro, aye.
Carl, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried, thank you. Okay, next order of business, I guess I'll jump on this. Appointment of Jack Dow, part-time dispatcher in the police department. Resolve the Board of Trustees appoints Jack Dow as a part-time dispatcher. All of the necessary paperwork has been completed. The effective date of hire is January 8th, 2024, at an hourly rate of $24.47 per hour. I need a motion to approve this appointment.
Ferraro, make the motion.
Carl will second.
Discussion? Call the question?
Ferraro, aye.
Carl, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried, thank you. 3-0, okay. Okay. Next order of business is invitation to bid. Trustee Ferraro.
Resolve the Board of Trustees authorize the village clerk to place a legal notice in the Times Herald Record advertising the Village Hall renovation project provided by David Demetco, architect, PC 167 Stage Road, Monroe, New York, with a bid opening scheduled for February 9th, 2024 at 10 a.m. in Village Hall, 7 Stage Road, and I'll put that in the form of a motion.
Can I get a second, please?
Carl will second that.
Discussion? Call the question?
Ferraro, aye.
Carl, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried, thank you. Next order of business is the authorization to advertise for a part-time building control clerk. Trustee Carl.
Yep. Resolve the Board of Trustees authorize the village clerk to advertise for the position of part-time water billing control clerk as follows. The Village of Monroe Water Department seeks a detail-oriented, responsible individual with excellent people and administrative skills. The work involves responsibility for routine clerical, keyboarding tasks in conjunction with office organization and the preparation of the village's quarterly water bills. Work is performed under the general supervision of the water plant operator and involves the exercise of independent judgment and accuracy in maintaining computer files on all water customers and in the billing of customers for water use. Applicant must be able to work independently as well as demonstrate proficiency in Microsoft Word and Excel. Bookkeeping skills, a plus. Appointee will be subject to a background check. The hourly salary is dependent on experience. And I will put that in a form of a motion.
Second, please.
Ferraro, second.
Discussion? Call the question?
Ferraro, aye.
Carl, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Okay, Kim, do I have anything else that I'm not, any other business that you can think of that I probably could get done here while we're here? No, okay.
Can we just, real quick, any update on the dredging of the ponds? Where are we going with that?
So we just received, yesterday, actually, a revised, there was a revision to the scope of work. We're trying to participate. The original bidder, as we all know, did not perform his work. So we went after his bid bond, and we were successful there. I have to sign off that document now, advising and authorizing our attorneys to go after it. So that's going to happen. The new or second low bidder was brought in on 2 occasions and asked if he could also supply a modified bid. So that's happened. Yesterday, I received a bid, and our engineer, Eric Zimmerman, is assessing it right now. So I hope by next week, we're going to have a direction of what we're going to do. It's going to be a little more involved for the Village of Monroe to make it affordable to move forward with it. The first bid was very, very aggressive, and this project would have been underway already. So, yes, so the update is yes.
All right, so is it a different process than we're gonna use to?
It's a different process. We're going back to the SOC technology,
Yeah,
and they're going to place socks in certain areas. We went out to the field and measured where the socks could go, where they're minimally invasive, and still do the job of dewatering the materials that are getting pumped into it. And it looks like there's going to be 2 areas, one on the North Plain Field area, and then the other one that may possibly do is on the South Pond. There may be a space for 1 or 2 of them on the 17M area, in that flat area where you come around on the bike path.
Yeah, I think as long as there's no loss of access to the park.
No, none.
That's the only, that's the
what
only
we did-
regulation.
Yeah, what we did was, depending on how it dewaters, depending on what's needed and so forth, the benefit of where they want to put it, we footprinted out for instance, the carnival.
Mhm.
The carnival could still happen with the socks in place, any
Perfect.
event out there. So that was the major obstacle even to consider that. And then the material is going to be removed from there and brought off-site to one of our village-owned properties.
Great.
have they looked at just draining the ponds and then just going in there and cleaning them out that way? Has that been looked at or talked about?
It hasn't really been talked about that way. I mean, certainly it could be, but.
Because we have to truck it out, now I understand it has to be trucked out, because that's all
Right.
floodplain
Right,
down through
and
there?
we have a certain model where we're allowed to do certain amount of fill to clean, to cut and fill. So there is some area of movement, yes. But yes,
All right, so that's something that may happen this year? or-
yeah.
And we're still on the spectrum for the grant from Scoofus's office on that, correct?
Yes,
That was 565,
65.
okay. All right, and the only other thing that I have, that I've noticed, and I do appreciate the correspondence sent to the town regarding the garbage district, is the bulk items that have been out there for several weeks. I have, right up the street from me, there's a hot water heater that's been standing tall and proud for 3 weeks that has not been picked up. Drive around the village, you see stuff, washers, dryers, that haven't been picked up. And it's just, doesn't look good.
No,
It's really, it doesn't look good, and we need to get that addressed.
there was and to your point, so I think, if I could just take.
And the other thing that, on the memo that was sent to the town board, in the constant contact that was sent out to all the residents a week or so ago, they referred to their agreement on tonnage with Morangi. We able to get a copy of that, because that's not even spelled out in that contract, at least the one that I have.
Yeah,
It's not even spelled out in, and I'd like to see
I like to see those. nuts and
where they
bolts.
say they're over on their tonnage, because this is going to be a problem going forward.
I agree. So just yesterday, as a response, I assume, to my letter on behalf of the board, there's a meeting on Tuesday at 11 o'clock with Morangi at Town Hall.
When was that?
There's a meeting this coming Tuesday at 11 o'clock. So hopefully we'll be able to address all those issues.
Okay, I do appreciate it, because, I mean, they have, for many, many years, they did an outstanding job.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
But it just, something's happened here. I mean, I noticed it over the summer, that things were changing, and
Yeah, I won't disagree. I'm sure Andy agrees, and most of us that see it on a regular basis agree. Something's changed. There is more garbage out there, and I think getting in front of it is really the goal. on how do we deal with it. And one of the things I think is a plus, and we should do, is if a residential home no longer serves the occupancy of a single family living in the home, they're the owners of the property and they live in the property. They're the primary users. When you rent it, it becomes a commercial use. When you have a commercial use, you should not be getting residential pickup. That is what I want to get some more detail on.
Or paying at a higher premium.
Or pay at a higher
Because,
premium.
again,
which-
you know what,
which-
they're gonna just move the stuff around and put it on somebody else's property.
Yeah, would that include schools?
Everything.
And, okay.
Anybody that's not having it as a single-family
Family.
home, in my opinion, needs to be able to, contract with the vendor at a commercial rate, which really only solves one problem. There's still a lot of garbage.
Yeah.
And that's the, I don't know what other vehicles and tools we can employ, but we've got to come up with some
Well,
different ideas.
there is one, especially in these houses where you see them, multiple and multiple vehicles parked. There's one on the corner of Turner and James Road. The other day, there was 9 vehicles in the driveway. Now, AWWA, which is the American Water Works Association, has guidelines, averages for families of 4 and homes and so forth and so on. Getting to that is look at the water meter readings, because if they're using much, much more water than an average family, according to AWWA, that's another mechanism too. That water meter will tell you if they're using 4 times the amount of water, and I'm just putting that number out there, 4 or 5 times the amount of water that a normal family of 4 or 5 would use, that should be a tool that we can utilize.
Absolutely.
But it's getting, and again, up by your house, Andy, had to take my grandson to school the other day. I went up into Lou's Court.
Yeah.
Holy moly,
there's 9
it's a mess. It's a mess.
9 vehicles there, and 6 of them are commercial. And though they cleaned up some of the trash, there's now concrete building
Well,
thrown in there, so it's.
we've
getting
worked
to
the last almost 2 years, give or take, on our comp plan, and we have laws that we've put on the books, and it's time.
Right.
Yeah.
It's time.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so if there's no further matter before the board, I need a motion to close this public meeting.
Ferraro make the motion.
Carl will second.
Call the question.
Ferraro, aye.
Carl, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Thank you all for attending, and thank you for you guys being here.